Hey everyone, Kingdom Kid here with another Persona video. And we're talking about the anniversary, and now that's finished. Yay, it's all finished. Woo, we got all the great announcements that we want. We all had everything that we wanted. It was a great anniversary, all in all. It was fantastic. It was fucking garbage. That's just it right there. The Persona 25th anniversary was just garbage. It was just flat out bad for a majority of it. The last three announcements were probably the best things ever. Actually, no. The last three announcements were not the best things ever. It was like whatever announcement was that they announced the ports, that was the best thing they've ever done. And I think the concert was also one. I don't know anything else. Everything else was just collabs with other stuff. Oh yeah, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax was also an announcement. Coming to like, it didn't even come to like PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. I mean, you can play them both on those things, but they were only native to like PlayStation 4 and Xbox, whatever Xbox that came out that year. I don't care anymore. The point is, this was bad. It was bad all around the board. And I just watched my first video that I done of this. I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited for everything that they could have. Like, the possibilities are there. I was like, first of all, let's just get out of this way right now. Persona 6 did not get announced. And I was like, and people are like, why did you expect it? I don't know. There's two images. There was two images that Atlus released when this happened. They were like magnets or something of like, here's magnets of, here's the covers of all the games. You know, it showed all the games. You know, it had the Persona 1 portable cover, the Persona 2 portable cover, and, you know, it had all the covers for the games. And then they had like two secret ones. And I'm like, ooh. And now, of course, that's two. I was like, okay, maybe. I can't remember if I don't think. I was like, okay, Persona 6, showing the cover for Persona 6 might be a little too much there. Unless they were like really confident and be like, oh yeah, no, we are confident that we're going to release our first trailer and we already have a release date. We have everything. Like, we have a release year at least. We have a cover art. We have everything there. So that could have been one cover. I don't know what the second one could have been. I don't know. Maybe it was like a fucking. I don't know. And then they also had one with all the protagonists. They had one of Persona 1, Persona 2, Persona 2, Persona 3, Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4, Persona 5. And then they had another secret one there. I'm going to show those images on, at least the protagonist one on here. So it's just like, why? It's like, oh, secrets. Like, ooh, they're going to show us who the main character is of Persona 6 as well. That's great. And that's why I thought like the last announcement is going to be like a Persona 6 announcement. To be like, hey, we're working on it. Hey, here's this. Here's that. Here's what the protagonist is going to look like along these lines. You know, all stuff like that. And we got nothing. I think the nail in the coffin was like 2 weeks before the Persona concert, which, by the way, the Persona concert is already done. That's why I'm making this video. I was going to make this video the day of the concert because I knew nothing was going to happen. Because here's the thing. This is so fucking up. This is so fucked up. They announced like a week or two before the concert. They're like, Atlus like, don't expect a game announcement at all during this concert. And like, the fuck? Everyone's like, are you fucking serious? So it's like, why? Not granted, the concert's great. The concert's always great. It's like the great music and everything. So always be excited for that. And then, of course, you get to listen to like all Persona 3, 4, and 5. I'll get into the Persona 1 and 2 bit in there. But yeah, it's like, of course, live concerts are always great. I've seen videos of them, so they're always great. The last announcement, which should not have been an announcement, was the fucking release date of Persona 3 and Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden. That was it. That was the last announcement of this whole year event. That they started last September of 2021 and all the way to October of 2022. That was the last announcement. Was fucking release dates of ports that were already announced. That was already another announcement. Was the announcements of the ports. That's not a special announcement. It's not a special announcement. It's okay. So let's talk about this. So, first things first. I said this before and I said it again. I literally just watched. I'll get more into details. Like, I watched my video. Like, here's all the things I'm like hoping for. I was like, I was like, I'm 100% certain we're going to get a full-on remake, or they're going to do something with Persona 1 at least, because it's the first game, it's the 25th anniversary. They're going to do something with that. I'm so excited for that because not many people have played those games. Blah 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 blah. That obviously wasn't one. I talked about Persona 3 being the thing. Persona 3 maybe getting a remake or even being ported. That kind of did happen. And even with Persona 4 and 5. So, those all got ported. We know Persona 5 Royal is coming out for everything like in 2 weeks. Like next week or something like that. So, that's cool. And then now, Persona 3. I hate this too. Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden are not even getting physical releases. They are all digital releases, which is fine, whatever. But I'm just look at what they've done for the physical release of this last push of Persona 5 Royal for everything. That's such a fantastic collector's edition. Why do they not want to do that for Persona 3 Portable or Persona 4 Golden? I don't know. That's just money right there. That's money right there. Whatever. So, I'm going to say this flat out. I'm not blaming Atlus West at all for this. Atlus West had nothing to do with these anniversary events. This was all Atlus of Japan. And I'm going to say this right now. It was so unnecessary. This whole year-long celebration of Persona was so unnecessary. Don't get me wrong. I think they fucked up. They fucked up in so many ways. They fucked up by saying, like, oh, we're going to sprinkle surprises across the whole entire year and all that stuff. It's like, no, don't do that. It's like, it's so unnecessary. Especially when, here's our announcement. It's special Persona menu items at this cafe that's only in Japan. Special products is Persona toothpaste, Persona mouthwash. That's only available in Japan. Special meetups or something in Japan, whatever. That's all it was. Majority of these announcements were all everything that can only be done in Japan. Which, I get it. It's a Japan branch, a Japan game. It's all fantastic, but no. Kingdom Hearts had a better announcement event or anniversary event than Atlus did with Persona. Yes, it sucked that it was only in Japan, but that's fine. Like, they had a great thing all around, and then they capped it off by, talking about stuff. They're like, here's when the finale Dark Road's coming. Here's a little bit of Missing Link. And here's Kingdom Hearts 4, by the way. That's all you gotta do. You do not need to do a whole, we're going to celebrate all year long and do these surprise announcements every now and then and yada 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 and yada yada yada. And it's like, yeah, but it's like, majority of those announcements, the fans outside of Japan can't even partake in unless they're going to Japan during those moments. And that's another thing too. It's like, from the beginning of May all the way to the end of May, you can go to this restaurant or this cafe and get this thing and get that item, blah, 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 blah. It's not great. While everyone else was like, hey, here's some merchandise that we opened up. We opened up a new Atlus website that you can shop stuff for Atlus. And here's an anniversary special merchandise that you can only get during this event. As soon as the event is done, bye-bye. That's right. I think they're done selling everything Persona 25th anniversary related on the Atlus shop now, which is fucking stupid as well. It's also so fucking overpriced, but that's another thing. So what else? So yeah, the only thing that, like I said, fans outside Japan really got to get were the merchandise from the Atlus store, which again is only an Atlus West thing. It's like, the shipping is ridiculous for shipping inside the U.S. Imagine shipping outside the U.S. That's even higher, I have no doubt. But yeah, the only things we got was Persona 4 Arena Ultimax and the Persona 3, Persona 4, and Persona 5 Royal coming out for everything. That's it. That's all that everyone outside Japan really got to celebrate with, was just that stuff. That's something you wouldn't expect, You wouldn't expect something like that from a game series celebrating a whole year long celebration of their 25th anniversary. I think this lost a lot of faith. People lost a lot of faith for Atlus because of this now. Not to say it's like, it's not to say it's like, oh, it's so terrible now. No. But it's like, when the 30th anniversary comes in like technically 4 years now? I don't know. Whenever the 30th anniversary comes, no one's going to be excited. They're like, oh, like, depends on what, if Atlus does something similar to this, no one's going to be like, oh, no. Now, if they just flat out say, oh, yeah, here's a remake of Persona 1, I'll be like, oh, there we go. That's all they need to do, is you can just announce, like, hey, we're going to do just one special event. That's all we're going to do for the anniversary. Here's a special event, and such. I said before and said again. Kingdom Hearts had a better anniversary. Freaking RGG Studios. I don't know if it's RGG Studio or if it was the whole Yakuza series as a whole had a better anniversary thing where they did what they should have done. They announced games. They're like, hey, here's games we're working on and such. With Yakuza, there's like, here's a remake of a game that no one got outside Japan, that now everyone gets to play outside Japan. Here's an announcement of the next mainline. Here's an announcement of another game that's going to tie in from previous games into that next mainline one. And I think they also announced one other thing too. I can't remember. PC ports. PC ports of Judgment. PC ports of Judgment, the Judgment games. Which was great. That's all they need to do. And while Persona did this whole year-long thing, I was like, oh my god. So, I'm going to say this right now. I think fans' expectations, especially me, again, because like I said, I watched the first video. I think fan expectations were also played a big part in a lot of disappointment. I made another video about this, a couple weeks ago when they announced the concert, or a couple months whenever they announced the concert. I was like, okay, let's talk about the anniversary. It's not been that great, but fan expectations have also been terrible as well. And I was guilty of that. But can you blame us? Can you really blame us for being like, hey, when so many other companies have done better announcements, better anniversaries than someone, and that's a one-day thing. It's like, hey, this is a one-day thing. Here's all the stuff we're announcing. While Atlus had a whole year long, and Persona had a whole year long celebration, and they did the bare fucking minimum. Barely. They barely did the bare fucking minimum. That's just great. I don't know. I don't know how this got received for fans in Japan. I'm sure they probably loved it. They probably loved like, oh yeah, the game's coming again. Oh yeah, the merchandise, the special cafe items, all that stuff. I'm sure they enjoyed it to a T. I don't know. I don't know how it was. But yeah, majority of the fans outside Japan were fucking disappointed as well. So it's like, yeah. So again, don't get me wrong. So the art, they announced they had a new art piece that will probably be part of the thumbnail for this. They had a new art piece for with the announcement of the release dates for the ports. It was kind of like a little remake of one of the old promotional arts for Persona 3, where it now has the protagonists from both. It has Persona 4 protagonists, Persona 5 protagonists, both the Persona 3 protagonists, and their main personas behind them. So it's a cool art piece. Don't get me wrong, that's a cool ass art piece. But like, yeah, my biggest disappointment. Nothing. Absolutely nothing was done with Persona 1 or 2. They were shown in all these promotional arts. They were shown in everything. They had all this fancy wear art. They had this like, I think like a street art. I think it was just a regular clothes, but they were behind like some graffiti art or something. They had all this art. They had some merchandise, like here's, the magnets, here's the acrylic stands, blah, 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 blah. Here's the cover arts of the games. They had all this great stuff. They had all that stuff with Persona 1 and 2. Only for them not to get a single fucking thing at all. They got nothing. Not even a port. Not even an announcement of like, hey, we're working on porting these games or anything like that. They got nothing. They got the short end of the stick once again. That was the one thing I was hoping for. I was like, I said I watched that video of like when I first talked about this. I was like, I expect something Persona 3 related. I expect maybe something Persona 4 related. Maybe Persona 5 related. I don't know. I think I mentioned like, oh yeah, having all this stuff ported to the Switch, current gen, Steam, PC, all that stuff. Xbox, I said like, yo, I'll probably have it on Xbox as well. I expected that for Persona 3. I think I mentioned Persona 4 and Persona 5 for all. I expected that. That's the bare fucking minimum. I really want something with Persona 1, 2, and 2-2. And we got jack shit. Is there a reason for that? I mean, I know in Persona Innocent Sin, I think it was Innocent Sin, there's a image of Hitler, but guess what? Who cares? They put sunglasses over him and call him the Führer. Well, I think in Japan he was actually called Hitler. Who cares? It's fucking Hitler. Everyone wants to beat up Hitler. If that's the main reason why they're not gonna touch, I mean, that's the main reason why they don't want to touch that one game. But why not Persona 1? As far as I know, there was nothing bad with Persona 1. Now, yes, I know in the original Japanese version, one of the characters was black and I think heavily stereotyped, and then they kind of changed that a bit in the port. I don't know if they changed it when it originally came out, but I know they changed it for the PlayStation Portable release, which is fine. You know, whatever. You realize that you fucked up in some of the stuff, and that's totally fine. And you fixed it to some extent. I don't get it. I just don't understand. Like, why does Atlus not want to go back to Persona 1 or 2 at all? They do nothing. That was the one thing I wanted. I hope Atlus really, really learns from this mistake. This was a big mistake. This whole anniversary event celebration year-long thing was a giant mistake. And so fucking unnecessary. All around the clock. All the ports and stuff, they could have easily announced that right there. Like, hey, we're working on ports for Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5 Royal. Come out for everything. I can somewhat maybe understand why they didn't want to announce the Persona 5 Royal one, because that one literally came out like that year too. Because Persona 5 Royal came out like for PlayStation 4 like early May, I think, of 2021. So I'll be like, okay, what did I come out in 2020? Either way, actually think it was 2020. Either way, I can somewhat understand maybe they didn't want to announce the Persona 5 Royal one, but then again, whatever. Or they're like, I don't know. There's so many ways they could have done this so much better than how they've actually done it. And now you have fans on both sides being like, this was worse, which I'm in agreement that this is bad. This was a bad thing. They shouldn't do it this way. They have fans defending us like, oh, why did you expect Persona 6? Why are you so entitled to getting a new game? Why are you entitled to getting some blah, 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 blah? It's like, I don't know, maybe it's because Atlus flat out kind of put that into people's minds with those two images of the cover arts with the two secrets and the protagonist with the one secret. I don't know, just food for thought there. But I digress. I mean, I'm still looking forward to the ports. I don't know. I might do a live stream series of Persona 3 Portable, because that's the one game I never really covered in any aspects on any of the channels. So I might do a live stream series of the female route on that. Persona 4 Golden, I don't know. Because I haven't done anything Persona 4 related on this channel. I've done stuff Persona 4 related on the other channel. Same with Persona 3. So, I don't know. Either way, I'm still looking forward to the ports. But the fact that the last fucking announcement was a release date? Are you fucking kidding me? That was it. That was the last announcement. And again, I personally, I just watched my video. I said, like, I don't expect Persona 6 to be, like, a big announcement. Because I mentioned, like, they need to learn from their mistakes of what they did with Persona 5. If Persona 6 just ended up being, like, a whole, hey, we're working on Persona 6, here's a little teaser trailer, or it's either going to be, we're working on it, here's a teaser trailer with no release year or anything like that, then that's fine. Or they're like, we are so confident, here's Persona 6 coming out in 2024 or 2023. That's all they need to do with a Persona 6. And of course, there's the whole Wii Fantasy thing too, which I think is a different team working on that. But like, that got announced 6 years ago, and we've heard jack shit from that. I don't know. I feel like Atlus just is having, I don't know what's going on. I know, again, this is mostly Atlus Japan. I have nothing bad to say about Atlus West. I just imagined and just thought, as I'm sure a lot of people did, that this would have been a lot handled better. And we all hope so. I'm not really looking forward to the 30th anniversary at all. if I'm being completely honest, I'm not looking forward to the 30th anniversary. If this is basically how they thought was good, I don't know. I'll be interested to hear like what Atlus feels about all this stuff now, or like talk about like what they're going to say and all that stuff. I digress. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching this rant. Thank you for watching this video about me kind of giving my thoughts about the whole thing as a whole, with the whole, hey, here's our anniversary year-long celebration that honestly only amounted to technically 2 good announcements out of the 7 announcements that they've had. They didn't have 7 announcements. They had 6, or however many they were. I remember it was like 7 or something like that, but it was I do not count that last announcement of like, here's the release date being an announcement. That's not an announcement. That's not a special announcement that these things were built up for. That was just a straight up, you could have saved that for the Game Awards or something. I don't know. I feel like this really, I don't know. I hope this was not the original plan for Atlus on it, but I digress. We're never going to know. But anyway, thank you again for watching. Let me know how you guys feel about it. Are you disappointed like I am that there was nothing Persona 1 and 2 related at all? I mean, are you looking forward to the ports? I'm looking forward to the ports. Like I said, those are probably the best things that this anniversary thing has come out with, and that could have been the only thing they could have done, and I'd be like, perfect. I was like, that's great. This is a great anniversary event. That's all they had to do was, or not even event. They were like, hey, we're celebrating the 25th anniversary of Persona in this span of September 1st through the 3rd or whatever, you know. Kind of like however they did the things for Kingdom Hearts. And it's like, here's at the end of our anniversary, here's ports. And I don't know. I've been happy. I'd be like, okay, that's cool, that's great. But it's like, where's Persona 1 and 2 stuff? If they announced Persona 1 and 2 game stuff, I'd be like, perfect. That's all they needed then. And then maybe if they're like, hey, we're also working on Persona 6. But nothing. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching once again. And again, let me know how you guys feel about this. Thank you all for watching. And again, I don't know, I might do something to Persona 3 Portable. We'll see on the other channel. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time.